Okay, so Tilly and I are in Skipton today. We've just been getting the boat ready for some people who will be taking the boat after me. This summer, Narrowboat Kindred Spirit is touring the area around Skipton on the Leeds-Liverpool Canal. What we're going to do, we're going to show you a little bit of footage of what I got up to with a couple of mates a couple of weeks back, and we've also got some stuff that we took last year when we were over on the Llangollen Canal over in Wales.
While it's clean and tidy, we thought this would be a good chance to show you the inside of the boat, and we're also going to show you a few shots we took while we were in Skipton.
Well, it's just got to be done.
Yeah. So I would say this is a pretty typical Leeds Liverpool canal scene. We're on what is described as the contoured section of the canal, which runs some 20 odd miles and ends up at the famous Bingley 5-rise locks. This morning we're setting off from the village of Kindred. This is the scene the lucky people of Kindred get to look out onto. Scene just to the east of Skipton. So here we are. Typical morning on the boat. Just coming into Llangollen. This is the workshops and work area for Llangollen boats. Which puts us probably about not much more than a mile out of Skipton. Well, things are going well. Finally got to the point where I have a crew trained up and I can do a bit of filming now. That one there represents about as big a boat as you're going to get on this canal, a 13-foot wide Dutch barge. It just shows how big they can get. And this is us on our way out of Skipton, and this is just a long row of moored up narrowboats mostly.
Is this a push pile or is it?
Yeah, it'll be a pushy. So we got another swing bridge coming up. These are a combination of things. Some of them have got barriers if they're on main roads. This is just a farm track, so it's just a purely manual affair. So our first job is undo the handcuff lock, as they call them. This is a square key into recess and just unscrew a bolt. That done, you lean on the bar and the bridge swings like so. Careful at the end or it bounces back and hits you in the belly. Right. better get a move on because I can hear a fairly large tractor coming up behind me, and he wants to get to the field because he wants to get his silage in. Got him. There we have it. One happy farmer off to get his silage. We just got to get back on the boat now. Probably coming to the end of the contour canal section of the Leeds Liverpool. Just had a look on the map and we've got some locks coming up. I think it's one more bridge and then 4 locks before we get into Gargrave, which is where we're staying tonight. But this is the typical scenery you get on this part of the contour canal. Rather nice. First sight of a lock on the Leeds Liverpool canal. And then there's the steps take us up to the lock gates. So here comes our boat. We've got the first bit right. The front doors are firmly shut. The reason for that is any water spray from that waterfall at the front of the lock won't get into the cabin, soak everything and possibly even sink the boat if you've got some serious leaks. So this is us coming forward and into the lock. Just go there. I'll slow it down now, Kev. So we'll just take it up forward and touch. That's not going to be too bad. And start dropping the water in. You want to shut the one around the other side?
Yeah.
There we go. No, just push it. The lock gate's at the front of the lock. The boat's nicely touching in the arc or the crescent. He's got it on forward tick over and he's using the rudder to keep the boat in the middle of the lock. This is an alternative to roping off. If you've got a driver, it gives you far better control. That's looking pretty good. So the next thing we look at is, what have we got paddle wise? We've clearly got some gate paddles, but the paddles are halfway up the gate. If I opened them, it would swamp the front of the boat. So what they have is something called ground paddles, which this opens up a tunnel underneath the water that allows water to flow in under the boat. So we do that by spinning this handle, and that will lift the paddles. We'll try and take them about a quarter of the way and see how much water flow we get. So we got half a dozen turns on each side on the ground paddles, and you can see the water bubbling up underneath the boat, coming out of the subsurface tube. It's not a tube, it'll be some stone construction. Clearly the one on this side's been more effective than the one on the other. But by keeping the boat forward, it stops it from being slammed into the side of the lock. So I'm just going to send a bit more down, see what happens. That one's a bit stiff. Once I get these fully open, we'll get a decent water flow into the lock. I'll just put the camera down and open my side as well. So I've just found out from this gentleman that he's already come down 3 locks, and he's just set this one for himself, which should mean if there's nobody else in between us, the next 3 locks will be set for us. What will be happening next is we'll be winding this paddle gear. That lets the water out the lock, and then we can open the gates when the lock's empty and he can drive out. So that's a really good lock for us. These guys have come through the last 3 locks. The gates are closed in behind this boat. This gentleman's winding the paddle to let the water come out. See all the disturbance on the surface. And if you have a look, the boat's already dropped about 2 foot.